Okay, you can go. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the February 2024 meeting of the Community Board 6 Health and Human Services Committee. My name is Elvie Barroso, and I am the chair of the committee. Tonight, we are joined by District Manager Jesus Perez and Assistant Manager Brandon Burt. This meeting is called to order at
6:36.
6:36 p.m. As a reminder, New York State law requires all community board members who are not able to attend the meeting in person to have their cameras on and their first and last names displayed from the time the meeting is called to order until the time the meeting is adjourned. One thing I should note about tonight's agenda. Now that there is a lawsuit against Mount Sinai and the New York State Department of Health over the proposed closing of Mount Sinai Beth Israel, CB6 has learned that neither Mount Sinai nor the New York State Department of Health will be present at tonight's meeting. Additionally, this is no longer a joint meeting with Community Board 2. So tonight, we'll focus solely on the impacts of the proposed closure on our district. However, we will hear from Community Board 6 members and the public about the impacts of Beth Israel's proposed closure to our community. We will use that input to finalize a resolution on this subject. A resolution that will be in opposition to the proposed closure. As in the months and weeks leading up to this meeting, we have heard significant concerns about how the proposed closure will impact our district. Jerry Weinstein will take minutes tonight. Thank you, Jerry. And we will now take attendance by roll call. Brendan will conduct the roll call.
Committee members, I will call your name. When your name is called, please say present. I will announce if there is quorum. Marty Barrett.
Present.
Elvie Barroso.
Present.
Barack Friedman. Sandra Leftoff. Raj Nayar is not here tonight. Kevin O'Kee.
Present.
Miriam Rowe.
Present.
And Jerry Weinstein.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Brandon. The agenda for tonight's meeting was distributed ahead of time by the board office and is reflected on the screen before you. If there is no objection, we will adopt the agenda. Members of the committee, if you object to adopting the agenda, please raise your hand. Seeing no objections, the agenda for tonight's meeting is adopted. The minutes from the January 11 meeting were distributed ahead of time by the board office. If there is no objection, we will adopt the minutes as drafted. Members of the committee, if you object to adopting the minutes, please raise your hand. Seeing no objections, the minutes from the January 11 meeting are adopted. They will soon be available on the Community Board 6 website. In order to conduct an efficient meeting, let's observe a few ground rules. No one may speak until granted the floor. Committee members who are here in person, if you have a question about committee business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and I will identify you so you can speak. Committee members unable to attend in person, if you have a question about committee business, you may raise your hand through Zoom. I will identify you so you can speak. All committee members it is extremely important that only one person speak at a time so that members of the public watching at home can understand what is being said by each committee member. Also, we have a shortage of microphone tonight, so we will be careful to repeat questions that can't be heard by the folks on the Zoom. Please remind if we forget to do that. The chat function for committee members present via Zoom should not be used for committee business or questions about agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record by raising your hand through Zoom. Chat should only be used to alert us to any technical difficulties you are having or to state in writing information that was already stated aloud on the record during the meeting. Tonight's agenda is about the discussion on the proposed closure of Mount Sinai Beth Israel Hospital and its impacts on Manhattan Community District 6. Since MSBI and the State Department of Health are not present, we still want to take this opportunity to go on record with our opposition to the closing of the Mount Sinai Beth Israel Hospital. So I would like to invite anybody from the public. If you have any question. Yes,
To go up. They need to go to the mic.
can you please, please
the microphone.
use the microphone.
For the audience.
I would like to ask, what will be done to ensure residents have access to necessary emergency care services if the hospital is closed? Because the hospital is one of two places residents can go to get emergency care on the east side of Manhattan. And the only place that accepts residents who are on Medicaid.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do not have a person from MSBI to answer that question. So what we will do is we will write down that question and send it to MSBI.
Does the committee want to consider the resolution now?
All right, so any other question from the public? Okay, so if there's no other question, we will discuss the resolution that we developed.
Have the direct expertise, so I will ask him for the question. Not in what we have as a working group, I'm wondering about native care. The whole ecosystem of that, how that and something. Not anyone has been signed. It's never been. Part of the offering and what just been downside.
That question needs to be repeated into the microphone.
Want to repeat it?
That is a long question.
To repeat myself, and for everyone in Fiberman, I'm hoping that we can include any observations about natal care and how this might be effective.
Everyone's remark? Yeah, just short.
Thanks, Elvie. I support this resolution, but I wanted to point something out, and maybe it could be baked in to the resolution. But today, earlier today, in an investigative piece by political reporter Maya Kaufman, we learned that patients may already be at risk because of what's happening at Mount Sinai Beth Israel. I'll just give you a quick passage from Maya's story. As a result of the continued downsizing, patients are increasingly requiring transfers to receive the medical care they need, the workers said. All the while, the emergency department has been crowded with patients who need to be admitted to the hospital, but are waiting days for a bed, they added. Quote, "You go into work every day scared that someone's going to die on your watch," unquote, one of the 4 healthcare workers said in an interview. Thanks for the time.
Any other comments? Remember?
Is there a motion? No. If there are no more comments, so is there a motion? Ask if there's a motion.
Is there any motion about this resolution?
Call the question?
Is there a second?
I would just jump in. I know you have something on the floor, whether we want to even mention this investigative piece, since there's a lot of, that was just a small example.
I would suggest including
So if I could tweak your call to question, and
It's
rescind it.
thank you, Marty. So I will offer a motion to accept this resolution, but at least draft at least one whereas that mentions that
Right.
story in political.
There's a question. Mariam Rolfe requests the floor.
Okay, Mariam?
I thank you. I just want to point out a typo, line 48. It says losing physicians. It should be losing, LOS. That's it.
Line 48 is blank.
I'm using Google Docs, so maybe that's different. It's the whereas as of 2010, MSBI had residency training programs.
Lucy, yeah, that one. Okay, we got it.
Okay.
Any other comments?
Kevin, it fits as a footnote directly where we would say have been and will be transferred to other facilities. So you may want to tweak a word or two there.
So it doesn't need a major surgery,
Just a footnote.
it just needs this
What line?
incision.
What? Which one?
I think the suggestion is to footnote to the story in political. There's no paywall, luckily, so everybody can see it.
What line are we referring to?
What line?
You have it up? I'll pull it
I
up.
do have it up, but I don't have lines in front of me. It is the whereas regarding search for transfer to other facilities. And right after that, that's what.
This one?
Continue to be
Yeah.
transferred to other facilities in Mount Sinai network, and what was the addition that you had?
Oh, well, I just, what I.
Kevin?
Yeah, do you need the link? Jerry, I think you're right about the placement. Is that what you're looking for? Yeah, I agree.
Again, I don't know whether or not we wanted to insert natal care, this affects the sick, elderly, very young, and most people.
I'm not sure if mental care is part of that.
Yes, ma'am. I was asking.
Yeah,
No,
it was a question mark at the end of your.
I don't think.
If we don't know for sure.
Want to say other services or not,
Yeah.
including but not limited to?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I think we can do that. Other services.
So just to be clear, the whereas about transfers, we are footnoting the political article that Kevin remarked on. Kevin, will you send that to the office,
I'm
please?
sending it to your personal and the general address right now. The link.
Okay,
I think it's Politico, no?
Oh, yes, put a code with an O at the end.
oh, sorry, I think it changed it.
Political.
I'm sending it from my phone. It's easier.
Yeah, it's political.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we doing the naval care thing or not?
No, just. Or we can add other services,
15 seconds.
other services instead of specifically saying.
Where?
Emergency room service, emergency room and other services. Is that Derek? We can just put in there, emergency room and other services. Okay.
It's just, I sent it to your one and it's a long email, but you'll see there's only one link within the body. You
So can we take a
want me to
vote
send it
now?
to the general one too, or yours is fine?
Okay, so now that it's been amended, maybe
Okay,
is
so
there another
now-
motion?
Now that it has been amended, we will now take a vote.
We have a
Well, it needs to
second?
be moved first.
Oh.
Yeah, we have it, and we did a second. You want it since you're-
No, I rescinded it, so now I call the question.
And I will second it with the amendments.
Okay, good. All right, so Brendan,
Okay, when I call your name, please say whether you are in favor, oppose, abstain, or abstain for cause. Marty Barrett,
In favor.
Elvie Barroso,
in favor,
Barack Friedman,
Abstain. Pause.
Sandra Leftoff, Kevin O'Keefe,
In favor?
Marion Rose,
In favor?
and Jerry Weinstein. With 6 in favor, no opposed, no abstentions, and 1 abstention for cause, this resolution passes.
Point of information. I have the air table up. That's not on it, nor is the Bellevue intern and resident on it. What is on it is support of a city council emergency air quality emergency. Which is, it's saying that that's for the February 14th meeting.
The committee member Barrett is asking about the resolution tracker on the CB6 website, remarking that there are some draft resolutions on there. However, this Mount Sinai resolution is not among them. The reason that is because the resolutions that go up on that tracker in the pre-decisional form are only resolutions that were passed by committee and are moving on to full board. That is not the case for these residents, but they will soon be up tomorrow, since at least one of them is passed. Okay.
thank you, Susan. Okay, so, I do not have any report, so we're now gonna go to the old and new business. So if any member of the committee has any old or new business, please raise their hand.
Is there a second reso?
Letter.
The Bellevue?
Someone needs to bring it up in old business.
Oh, okay, this is where we bring it up. I'd like to bring up a resolution about Bellevue payment, I should say compensation. Unless you want to table it till next.
What about the other rest?
I have it. Just give me 1 second.
Do we expect it? Okay.
So it's supposed to be new business.
Okay, so this is another resolution that we need some comments from the members. Marty?
At our last meeting, the uh, individuals who are part of the committee for interns and residents had come to our committee, and they showed how the contract that they're being offered by Health and Hospitals and the city the contract that they've been offered makes them significantly lower paid than other hospitals in the city. The Bellevue and these other hospitals very much need interns and residents. And people who come to New York who want to work in our hospitals certainly deserve to have a living wage. So, and by presenting by having lower wages in Bellevue and other hospitals, they will not be getting the cream of the crop, as it were, who would go to other hospitals and earn $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 more right from the beginning. And so, as such, we are recommending that the city match what the other hospitals are getting. Certainly a greater increase than just the 3% a year that they're offering.
If no public comment, I call the question.
Second.
That's it. Okay.
Committee members, when I call your name, please say whether you are in favor, oppose, abstain, or abstain for cause. Marty Barrett,
In favor.
Elvie Barroso,
In favor.
Barack Friedman,
Favor.
Sandra Leftoff, Kevin O'Keefe,
Favor.
Miriam Rose,
In favor.
and Jerry Weinstein. With 7 in favor, nobody opposed, abstained, or abstained for cause, this resolution passes.
Thank you. Any other new business? Oh, Sandra,
She needs to come here.
can you please come? No, can you please come so?
The city hospital, right? So the hospital versus a voluntary private. So on the category of with who's being underpaid, so it's all the interns and residents at the city hospital versus voluntary and private.
City Hospital.
So it's all the city hospital interns and residents are protesting.
Yes.
Okay, and they're comparing it to the voluntary and private.
To the private.
Just the private, not the voluntary.
We didn't discuss about the volunteer. We're talking about,
Fine, another union. Certainly. They're all unions.
Yes. yeah,
So why the union?
the ones from the private?
No. Oh, the ones who are protesting the wages.
It's a part of a union, yes.
It's fine.
It's SIEU.
Yeah,
Okay, so they also,
There are 7 hospitals in this particular contract. That,
all
they're all city hospitals. There are
Yeah.
7 hospitals within this contract that, because they haven't had a contract since 2021. So they've been working without a contract. And this current contract, again, just covers 7 hospitals. There are, what, 80 hospitals in the city? Something like that. These are all H&H hospitals.
And they're all the city hospitals, or they're just the city hospitals in Manhattan.
There are just city hospitals in this contract. They're in Brooklyn and Queens also. It's not just Manhattan.
Okay, the second part is, are they union? Oh, yeah.
Yes,
So
yes, they are.
then they are also going through the union as well.
The union is fighting this.
Spite.
The union is fighting for them.
Okay.
Thank you, Sandra.
I have a new business.
Okay, oh, Marty? Marty has a new business. Abstain. Harvey, that's Harvey's.
Yes, that's right. Actually, it's a statement thanking the Community Board 6 staff for getting in touch with DOT so as to clear up an issue that was on First Avenue and 55th Street since January 7th of drilling in the street from 10:30 to 2 a.m. And the Community Board office finally got through DOT to speak to their contractor to end that practice. Thank you.
All right, so we can see, good evening, Assemblyman Kathleen, and we would like to invite you to speak about the MSBI.
We've passed a resolution already
Oh, yeah, we've already passed a resolution
to oppose.
to oppose.
Oppose the closing.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. For people who don't know me, my name is Harvey Epstein. I'm the state assembly member here in the 74th district. I wanted to stop by, even though I just got back from coming down from Albany, just because this issue is such an important issue for our community. This hospital, means so much to all of us. I've said this before, my daughter was born there. I've been to the emergency room numerous times, and the impact it's going to have on us and our community is potentially really devastating. And so, we've been working with the community board. We've had this strong coalition that we've been putting together, all the electeds downtown, the community boards, neighborhood-based organizations to really work together to figure out a solution. We know Mount Sinai Beth Israel says they are losing money, maybe $150 million a year. But so everyone knows, Bellevue has told us that if Mount Sinai Beth Israel close, it's going to cost them $150 million a year to cover the cost. So if they close, we, the taxpayers, are going to be on the hook for that additional money. So we need to stand and figure out how we can have a hospital, whether it's on that site where Beth Israel or some other site where you have an emergency department, ICU beds, mental health beds. We need to push for something, and that's exactly what we're doing for. I'm sorry that the board worked so hard to get this event together, and then at the last minute, Mount Sinai Beth Israel and the state health department backed out, but I do. I went through that, 2 weeks ago. So I just want to applaud your effort and applaud your work, and we will continue to fight together. And I just want to thank you for giving me a minute to say that. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Assembly Member. So, let's do with There's no other.
If there's no more business, is there a motion to
Okay,
adjourn?
so. Any other business, any objections? Nothing?
A motion to adjourn?
Okay, so meeting is adjourned at
7:05.
7:05. Thank you everyone for coming.